back again. We're actually going to do some editing today, and even a couple of other things that you might not have expected to do. I have added some things to the file. It is still the original file that I started working with days ago. And today we are going to do a couple of things. Number one, I'm going to actually put in an edit to show you exactly what one looks like. This segment right here, that little piece that's now outlined in red, doesn't need to be there. When I play this through, perhaps you'll be able to hear it.
Kevin, and put a glaze on it.
Put a glaze on it.
You'll have several other
And then there's a whole bunch more, and then there's a big bird scream right in there. Don't need that in there. So I put a cut right there. Now, this particular little piece is now going to come out. I'm going to cut it. Now that brings everything over to the left a little bit. But now the transition here is very smooth. Put a glaze on it.
Our ham has been rinsed.
And then it just goes into the next little segment where our ham has been rinsed. So we're going from that to this. So right down here, not too far down the timeline, I have another big bird scream. I've already isolated it, but you'll want to hear this maybe.
Now, what we're going
Boom,
to put
hear
on
that?
it are, now, what we're going to put on it are,
So hopefully,
now, what we're going to put on it are,
if I take that little piece right there, cut it out, come back up here a little ways and play that back.
going to put on it are,
There's no scream there.
hey, going to put on it are,
So you can get pretty discreet and pretty sophisticated with some of the sound that you can take out and remove and things of that sort. Now, here's another area that I've kind of already set up to show you what I wanted. In moving things around, I ended up overlapping a couple of files. Now, they overlap like this.
all the fruit is on,
So you've got
and it's ready.
this little segment here, which ends with the little cherries, and then this little segment here that ends with all of the fruit being on the ham. Well, this is a transition right here. Now, the way that these transitions are used is to give you an idea of how the action moves from the end of one clip to another. In this case, it's going to do what's called a barn door horizontal. That's this effect right here. So we'll see what happens.
Cook into the oven. All the fruit is on.
Not really very fancy.
Together and let you see what it looks like before
But
it goes into the oven. All
there
the
you
fruit
go.
is on.
That's kind of the way it works. Now, you do have other choices. There are 24, not counting custom, but there are 24 different effects that you can choose here for these transitions. Now, these transitions can be timed, shortened, lengthened. They can be edited. For example, let's say we want to take this barn V up, but we want it to last a little bit longer. So first of all, I'll move this back here. Now I'm going to grab the edge of this, and I'm going to stretch it out. There, we'll go this way. Okay, so now we're stretching that out, and let's see what happens.
Into the oven. All the fruit is on.
So you saw that that was much slower whenever it came through.
All the fruit is on.
Bear in mind, these things are kind of grabby. These updates are usually only at about 10 frames a second. So until the rendering catches up, things can look a little slow.
Once we have this all together and let you see what it looks like before it goes into the oven. All the fruit is
There,
on.
that's a lot smoother.
And it's ready.
And it shows you how much slower it was from side to side. So as you can see, you can mess with some of these transitions, and you do have some choices. They're all very basic. There's nothing there that's really fancy. There are a few other things that you can do with these. I mean, you do have a little bit of adjustment control over some of the softness or the hardness and, so on and so forth. But by and large, they're all presets, and you just kind of have to use them right out of the can. So for the moment, that's going to cover it for today's lesson. And in the next one, I think we'll probably get into something quite a bit more technical. Until then, I hope you're enjoying this. If you are, please let me know. I mean, this is probably a very limited series. I intend to give what I hope are reasonable directions for someone to do simple edits and to just get started with Shotcut. Once you learn the basics of Shotcut, it seems like one of the first things that it teaches you is that you really would like to have a little more power and control and so on. And that kind of naturally leads you on to other applications for which you're going to pay not a great deal necessarily, but at least some money. But this application, Shotcut, works very well. You could go through your whole online presence in social media and use nothing more sophisticated than this and do fine. But I just want to teach you the basics, that's all. So once I get that done, I'll probably find something else. But for right now, that's about it.